how many spaces you think you have for parking and how they will be occupied and what your plan is for overflow parking, Just want to make sure we have that straight.
So the permit provided for 7, and I don't know if anyone has a plan in front of them. One of the comments from the architectural committee said that we had to show that each parking space was at least 20 feet from the center of the road, which obviously no one else had to do, but we did that. So there are 3 spaces up what I would call near the generator when you see it, by the bamboo, near the ADA ramp system. And then you go down the driveway, and at the bottom of the driveway, it's either 10 or 12 feet below those spaces. So it's a whole story below. And on the plan, it shows 3 of them are in the garage. So that would be 6. And then it shows 1 of them is at the furthest point. So if I'm driving down the driveway and I turned in any one of the 3 garages, but if I went straight, there's 1 space there. So the new regs say a total of 3 spaces. So we have designated for the architectural committee 4 spaces we don't need. So we've got plenty of room to put a little dumpster if we need something. But as far as overflow parking, I'm just going to pull out what we submitted to the architectural committee, and I believe that we had down below, and I'm just looking. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we had uppers of 12 spaces, 12 or 15 spaces. Don't quote me, maybe as much as 18, 12 or 15 spaces. If we simply had Mother's Day and everybody invited a couple people and they all showed up, which has never happened. Has it ever happened where everyone for Mother's Day has invited 2 people and they've all driven, they've had a carpool? So anyway, but bottom line is, before we would ever go to the approved parking that was approved in 2007 by the architectural committee, coming in the other driveway, we could hide 15 or 18 cars, and the only person that would see them is a person driving by looking at the driveway as they drove by on Banbury Road. But you wouldn't see them from the golf course.
Okay, so I'm a simpleton here because I'm not familiar in detail with the architectural thing. So I think I heard you say there are 3 spaces near the generator, 2 at the ramp, 1 at the bottom of the driveway, and 3 in the garage. Is that right?
No. I said there are 3 spaces up by the generator. And then there's 7 spaces on the current permit. 3 spaces up by the generator. And then you drive down the driveway and there are 3 spaces in the 3 garages. There's 3 garages underneath this. So that's 6. And then there's 1 at the far
total
corner.
of 9 though, right?
Total of 7.
7.
Okay.
There used to be required 6. Now there's required 3. So we have 4 extra.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got 7 spaces, and to the extent that you ever have a need for more than 7, where do you expect to put those vehicles?
Between the length of the driveway and the turnaround area before you go into the garage, you can stack 15 to 18 cars in all that space. Before I would pull people around the second driveway, which is in the front, which can park 12 or 15 cars on our property, as cars have been parked since COVID started, and as cars get parked in the summer. And that space was approved as overflow parking in 2007 by the architectural committee, and they're in the files and we have them.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just trying to get the numbers straight.
So there are 30 spaces altogether
Okay,
that they can easily fit on the property.
total on the property.
Yes.
But to really, to use 30, you'd have to have somebody there to move cars around presumably because they'd be stacked up.
People can move their own cars, David, no differently than they do on any other property. I don't need a plug.
I understand. I just got to get the numbers straight. That's the, and you're
Lost you.
from employees you would have on site with vehicles.
I'm sorry, David. I think we all lost you on that one.
Okay, max
Lost you.
number of employees on site with vehicles. What is your expectation?
So there needs to be a parking space for every major shift. So if we have, by code, we need to have one person there all the time. So that's 3 8-hour shifts. So we need one space for that. And then if we have a second person there, we need a second space for that. So as far as parking space.
Okay, so you don't expect to need more than 2 spaces for staff. That's what I'm getting to.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I was trying to understand, get to. And there was some talk somewhere I saw a reference to the fact that a space in the garage being taken by a laundry. That's not the case, I take it?
That's not the case, no. That was, we originally thought there might be a laundry room going into the garage, but there's basically a small laundry room down that floor and then a large one on the main floor and then a laundry room upstairs. So we didn't need the laundry.